So this is my Sunrack 900 for my home lab, and in this rack on the bottom here we have an Apple Xserve, and it hasn't been set up yet. So in this video I will take it out and set it up. And the nice thing of today is I have a camera operator, Brittany, my friend, is helping me. So it will be probably a much better video than normal. So the Apple Xserve is already in the rack kit in the server rack. So it's easy to get it out. I only forget to check if there are cables on the other side. So let's see how far I will come. It's probably not connected, I hope. Oh, now we need to open the locks on both ends, and it's a 1U server. So let's get it onto the workbench. So this is the Apple Xserve 2.1. This is from early 2008. This is the second last Apple Xserve. You have also a 3.1 from early 2009. This one has DDR2 and the other has DDR3. So in the front we have here a power button, unlock button with an hex key. Probably this is the button to get a light where your server is. One USB on the front, USB 2.0. Here we have an Apple Super Drive. So we have a DVD player in, nice small logo, some air intakes, and we have 3 hard drive bays. And right now this one has a dummy. And caddies are really expensive for these machines. So if you get one with a lot of hard drives and all the caddies installed. And here, normally the standard drive is an 80 gigabyte SATA drive. But this is a 1 terabyte SATA drive, and that's the maximum of this machine. And this is a Western Digital RE3. We got 2 of them. So this machine is already upgraded because the hard drives are from October 2010. Here we have a serial port. Here we have the VGA port. And to use that, we need to go to Apple Dongle Live. And I had to order this adapter from eBay for 10 euros or something. So now we have a normal VGA port to connect the monitor. Here we have 2 Ethernet, 2 Firewire 800. So this is a pretty old machine because it still has Firewire. 2 USB. Here we have a power supply, and here we can have a redundant power supply. Let's check how big the power supply is. 750 watt. There's a lot of power in the machine. Here we have the serve stack of the Xserve, and it says 2.8. So this is the dual CPU quad-core 2.8 GHz Xeon. It says 1 gigabyte memory, 300 gigabytes, probably the SAS hard drive, and for the rest is nothing interested. Oh, assembled in Ireland. And here on the back we have Apple Xserve and some info about the voltages and the FCC rules and other stupid things we don't have to know. I got this machine for free, and let's take a look inside what we have. Nice big thumb screws, and probably this is a really nice designed machine because it's an Apple machine. If it opens. Yeah, there it goes. Normal metal plate, so nothing special. So the first thing I see is that all the memory banks are filled. So it doesn't have the 1 gigabyte memory anymore, which was on the server stack. So we will explore later how much memory we have. So let's start from here. 2 PCIe 16 slots. And here we have the graphics card, and this is a Radeon X 1300. We have even cables, and I was expecting with an Apple Xserve that you don't have like cables like this in a system. So that's a little bit disappointing for an Apple machine to see cables. Here a big heatsink probably on the chipset, because here we have the 2 CPUs. Here we have the 8 memory banks, so let's take a look how much the modules are. Okay, this HP branded memory, so it's upgraded later, 2 GB FB DIMMs, running at 667 megahertz. The same. This is probably also the same. And here we have another set. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is Hynix, 1 GB PC2 6400. So this is faster memory, but only 1 GB each. So probably these two sticks were the original sticks, and this is upgraded later. So right now we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 GB and additional 2 GB. So we now have 14 GB of memory, and the maximum of this system is 32 GB. So we can upgrade this system. We have a plate here for the airflow, and on almost all machines it clicks in, and on this machine we have screws. Yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. I was expecting better from Apple, to have a super nice hinge system instead of stupid screws. This is just too much work for maintenance. Not that you swap out CPUs on this machine, because you have two CPU options, the 2.8s or the 3 GHz version, and I don't even gonna bother with getting the Intel Xeon 5400 3 GHz, because dual quad core 2.8 or dual quad core 3 GHz is not that much of a difference. So this is a super flimsy air flow shield. We have two super big copper heat sinks with the Xeons under it, and here a lot of fans in this bar, 7 40mm fans, so this machine is probably really loud. So here we have a flat cable that goes here to the super drive. That's pretty nice, better than the cable like this, because this cable goes from here to the front panel with the buttons and the USB port. And let's see, yeah, this is a really ugly cable. It's really stupid that they made it like this instead of some nice ribbon cable like this, because this cable goes from the motherboard to the back plane of the hard drive, but this is a much nicer cable for it. And here we have the power delivery cable, also with a normal cable instead of a flat cable, but the motherboard is powered by this connector by this PCB, so that's a much better solution. So I'm not really impressed by the build quality of this machine. I think my Sun server for 4600 is much nicer built than this one. This is a little bit disappointing. Here we have the server locking mechanism, and there's a big bar behind it. So if you turn it, it turns this bar that goes over here and locks it here in the rails. So that is pretty nice design, pretty advanced, with like here gear wheels on a metal plate. Yeah, I like this part of the design. It's like a big mechanical locking system over the whole server. Those two hard drives that I have here are SATA hard drives, but the system supports also SAS hard drives. It's probably the same bay, only the hard drive racks like this are really expensive, and also I think the 1 TB each is the maximum of this system. Yeah, good luck finding another drive bay, because this is a dummy. But luckily I got also something else for free, and this is the CK Cheetah 15K.5, and this is a SAS hard drive of 300 GB, Apple branded. It's also an original one, so I have an additional hard drive, and it probably saved me 50 to 100 euros for the caddy alone. That's a nice bonus, so we can upgrade this system. It's time to power up the Xserve, so we have my IAMA monitor, of course a nice Sun keyboard. The monitor is powered by VGA, and I put the hard drives out for now. I first gonna see if the system still boots up. Power connector. And it has no intruder detection that I have seen, so probably we can run it fine without the cover. And I see some blinking lights. Oh, that is the light to find it in the chassis or in the server rack. Let's see what it does. I see a lot of lights here and here and here and blue lights here. It gives a display, but we need to have an Apple logo, I think. I'm not an Apple expert. Or it is now really looking for hard drives. But it is not beeping or something. But we don't have an Apple keyboard, so I'm not sure if we can do the special Apple commands. Hey, we have the Apple logo. I think it must give an error like... Oh, and the spinning thingy. I think it must give an error of no hard drive, or it goes to like the network boot. So let's put in the hard drive and see if it boots some kind of Mac OS. I don't have the install media, so let's see what happens. Maybe put the dummy in for the airflow. Okay, the screen turned black, no signal. So let's see what the system does now. Maybe I reboot because it configured the drive. We tried the two 1 terabyte hard drives and I think they are wiped. But we have the Cheetah 15,000 RPM drive. So let's try it out if there's something on this drive. I really hope so, because this was really not working. So exciting. Let's see if this works. I really hope so. And I really hate that servers are so slow in booting. That's really annoying. And I can't turn off this blinky light. Oh, the screen went black. Hey, this Mac OS server. Keyboard setup. I changed the keyboard to a normal Windows keyboard because we were thinking maybe the keyboard's not compatible. So let's see, the mouse is working. Continue. Press the key immediately to the right of the shift key on the left side of the keyboard. Username, root, password. I think we need to hack this Mac OS. I saw online that you can go in single user mode and reset the password. And because I'm an elite hacker, I googled how it works. So let's try it out. And we successfully hacked the Xserve. Mac OS Xserve install disk 10.6. Maybe we can reinstall it with this one. We already changed the host name. So let's see what we have here. Two CPUs, 2.8 quad-core Intel Xeon 5400. But this is strange. Memory 8GB 667 DDR2 FBDIMM. So there's a problem with the memory configuration right now. Not everything is seen. So Xserve 2.1, 2.8, 8GB, 12 MB cache per CPU. So they are core to quad architectures. Super drive here. No audio, but we can probably put in a USB audio device and working. No Bluetooth. No card reader, two Ethernet cards, no fiber channel, and you can put in fiber channel cards if you want. Firewire 800 MHz, the graphics AT Radeon X1300 with 64 MB. Here we have the memory configuration. It only detects 4 of the 8 sticks, so we're gonna change that. Only the AT Radeon PCI card, but that is this module which has a special connector instead of a normal PCI slot. We have one SAS drive, Seagate, 300 GB. Let's see if the Western Digital drives are hot pluggable. Probably it will. and then they probably need to show up. Okay, on the other hard drives there is a 10.66 and on the SAS hard drive a 10.68. The Xserve has a memory problem that not everything is detected, but I have here a bag of memory, and these are 4 GB sticks FB DIMMs from Dell, and it's now HP branded with a mix, and this is all the same. So let's swap out all the memory for 4 GB sticks and see what the machine does. I hope it just sees 32 GB. Otherwise I need to find other sets of memory, like I have a big set of 2 GB sticks from my Super Micro, which is also a possibility, but let's first try the 4 GB sticks. I really hope it just works. Maybe there's a broken memory or there's something not compatible with this set. So let's remove them. And they are FB DIMMs, so they run pretty hot, so I'm probably gonna burn my fingers. The cooling is pretty decent because they are not super hot, but these were 2 sticks that weren't working. Yeah, the cooling is good in this machine. Much better than my compact ML350. I think this is just a too big mix of different memory modules. Yes, this is also different, so let's put in a set of all the same. And this whole memory kit is already tested, so I know it's working. Oh, I see a memory error here on the memory bank, but let's see what it does. Oh, it turns off. Let's try it again. Oh, I think we need to swap out this memory module, but it turns on, so let's see what macOS will say. Okay, we have now 24 GB installed. So probably this memory bank isn't working right now. Memory, yeah, all 4 GB, 667, okay. And because this bank has an error, it says it's empty. But the memory from Dell works in this machine. It only runs at 667 instead of 800, so this is a little bit slower than the original memory. So let's swap out the broken memory stick, or the memory stick with an error. The system has now display and the red light is gone. So this is probably a working set of memory. Let's see about this Mac. 32 GB 667. All the memory is detected, all the states are okay. So we have now 32 GB memory in this system. Nice. I'm gonna try to reinstall the system with this macOS Xserve, this 10.6, and it doesn't say it, but I think this is Snow Leopard. The leopard and the snow on his head. That's a pretty nice image, to be honest. If we go to System Preferences and Start Up Disk, I think the CD will show up here, and then we can go from here directly into CD-ROM boot. And right now the two 1 TB hard drives are out. I tried to put them like in, but then the system doesn't boot. But I'm gonna put them in before I boot up the install, so I can select them in the disk management probably. That's my plan. Oh, we can also say here install macOS Xserve. Let's try that out. Click the button below to restart your computer. macOS Xserve is now booted from the CD. Use English for the main language. Next, preparing installation. macOS installer, continue. 3 hard drives available. Utilities, disk utility. I'm gonna wipe them all and start fresh boot drive. I'm gonna boot from a single 300 gigabyte SAS hard drive, and the other 2 hard drives will be like for data, but I don't care that much about redundancy on this machine because it's just a machine to play with and not for serious production. Okay, now we have select which disk you want to install macOS. We have the boot drive 303, data 1, data 2, also 1 terabyte free each. But I want to have it on the fast SAS drive. And it's a while ago that I installed macOS. I had a MacBook from 2006 and I used it till 2010 or 11. And I really liked it, but after that MacBook I bought a new normal PC and a normal super simple laptop because I'm not really a laptop user, so after that I never used macOS again. But now I have a macOS machine again in the network, not the newest OS, but still fun to play with. And this will probably take 30 minutes. So we will let it run and come back after the installation. We let the install run, and when we came back the screen was off. It's not reacting on the keyboard. So I hope it didn't went wrong. So after several attempts of installing macOS server on this machine, we had an issue that after the installation it went to a blank screen and it wasn't installed, and that was running on this Cheetah 15K drive. But now we put in 1 terabyte Western Digital hard drive and the install is complete, so we now need to reboot it. So first we're gonna turn it off as instructed, and then we turn it on again, and let's hope it boots into a new fresh installation. I'm really getting frustrated with this machine because it is like in an installation loop. If I install it on the SAS hard drive or the SATA hard drive, you can install it. Sometimes it gives a black screen and then everything is gone, and sometimes it just goes to the end screen, and then when you reboot it just goes to the CD player and I can't eject it on any way. So, and if I pull out the cable and have to install in, it doesn't find a hard drive. They are original hard drives. Look, 1 terabyte SATA, Intel, it is the Western Digital, also the SAS drive is original. So what am I doing wrong with this machine? Where I don't get it, and my knowledge of Mac is not enough to see where it goes wrong. If I have like a normal system like a Super Micro or something, I just can go into the BIOS and see all kinds of info, and here no info. So what? Are you laughing at me?
Yes.
Why are you laughing at me?
Because I find it pretty funny because you don't get it.
Wait, should I film you while you fix my Mac? Or something?
No, I probably let you do it.
Yeah, and see me failing.
Yes.
At least the memory crate is successful. So we have 32 gigabytes of memory. And the machine looks in an overall great shape. It's not a build quality that I expected from Mac. But still, yeah, nice machine. But I can't install it. So give some tips in the comments to help me out.
How about the door? That needs to be a mirror, you mean? Because I can look at my hair if it's good. I can't
server rack, it's not a beauty center here.
Yeah, but but it would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, if you just have like, then you can just look through a plastic window and you just look at it. Now it's just a rastering from the vet.
It's not a compact or HP server rack that's ugly.
I know, but like, alright, this is a pretty cool deal. About your little experiment with Apple, which obviously didn't go very well. But I'll just donate you my old MacBook and maybe you can practice with Mac, and then maybe you can run, or at least maybe Mac OS on it. Yeah, it's already one step ahead. So your failed attempt of installing Mac OS server, which is very funny to look at, to be honest. You thought you had figured it out, but you did not. Like, we installed it the first time on the 300 gigabyte drive, then it was almost done. It only had like 15 minutes left or so, and then it crashed. No, first the screen went off because it didn't have any video output, and then it crashed. It didn't do anything. That was really awkward and weird. And now we've tried it like how many times? 3 times?
5.
5 times?
I think.
I don't know, I can't count that. I was just Instagramming. It was really boring, really. I mean, who's gonna watch the whole installing process, right? I mean, who does that?
Half an hour each time.
So if you're installing Windows, you're just gonna watch installing it the whole time.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
You said Instagram. Where can they find you?
Oh yes, you can find me on Instagram on Story of Brittany with a slash between off and Brittany. That's like a low slash.
I will put it in the comments.
And you put it in the comments or
much
up
easier.
here somewhere. We will be back for this project. Hopefully working.
It's a few days later now and a lot of struggling. I replaced the BIOS battery. And I had the problem that after the installations the drives didn't boot. So I found this, choosing the startup methods from the front panel, and here is the option reset and VRAM and start up from the first bootable drive module. And when I did this, the machine was booting off the hard drives after the installation. And then the installation stopped on this welcome screen with the spinning thing here with no option to press continue. And I was trying out if it was like first the drives in RAID 1 and now it's a single drive, and it didn't work. I even pulled out all the memory, put in 2 sticks of 1 gigabyte, and that also didn't help. And then on the home lab group someone said something about the date. So I got into the single user mode, checked the date, and it was on 2001, and I put a date in from 2016 and now on this screen, so we can continue the installation. Awesome! macOS is installed. Name Xserve, 2 CPUs, 2 GB of memory, storage 300 GB. Uptime 1371 days. Okay. I also now know why the memory wasn't working. Because they put it in the wrong slot. They put the 2 1 GB sticks here and the rest was filled with 2 GB. But this is one memory bank together. So this is DIMM 1, this is DIMM 2, DIMM 3, DIMM 4, DIMM 5, DIMM 6, 7 and 8. So if you only put in 2 sticks, make sure you will put them in the correct channel. The machine is finally up and running. I reinstalled the 32 GB of memory. So to test the memory I installed a very heavy application, and that is Google Chrome. So let's see if it starts. So let's go to a very heavy website and see if it loads. And it works. So we have enough memory in this system. Perfect. The other app that I installed, Cinebench. So let's open it up. And if we run an OpenGL test, it's not supported by the graphics card. I was expecting like a little bit 3D support, but nothing. So let's run a CPU test. The performance is around the same as this i7 laptop CPU, the 3720. And that's a 4-core with hyper-threading. And this machine is a dual 4-core. It was quite a challenge to get this system up and running, but I learned a lot about the Apple Mac environment. My problems with this system is not over yet. If I go to software update and I install the macOS X server update combined to 10.6.8, the machine won't boot anymore. Yeah, I didn't update this installation yet, and I had many reinstalls to see where the problem was. I need to figure that out for another time. If you want to support me, you can support me monthly on Patreon or use my Amazon affiliated links. Thanks for watching. And thanks Brittany for filming this episode. You did a great job.
Yes. See you guys. Bye.